When Billionaire CEO Adrian Cole received the ivory-embossed invitation to his ex-girlfriend's engagement party, he felt something he hadn't experienced in years: defeat. The woman who once said she would wait for him while he built his empire was now marrying a venture capitalist whose company Adrian had quietly outperformed for 3 consecutive quarters. The event wasn't just personal, it was strategic. The entire city's elite would attend, board members, investors, media insiders, watching closely to see how Adrian would react. Alone, he would look abandoned, bitter, weak. And weakness was something he could never afford. So in a moment of impulsive brilliance, or desperation, he decided to bring a date. Not just any date. Someone unforgettable. Someone who would make the room question everything. That's how he found Elena Rivera. She wasn't a socialite, nor an influencer, nor part of the polished circles he usually moved in. She was a classical pianist who played evenings at a quiet downtown hotel lounge, her music powerful enough to silence a room without her ever demanding attention. Adrian had noticed her weeks ago during a business dinner. While his associates argued over acquisitions, he had found himself watching her fingers glide over the keys, her presence calm yet commanding. When he approached her with the unusual proposal, a generous payment in exchange for accompanying him to a high-profile engagement party as his date, Elena didn't answer immediately. She studied him instead. "You don't need a fake date," she said softly. "You need confidence." Adrian almost laughed. Confidence he had. What he needed was impact. And something about her told him she could deliver it effortlessly. After a long pause, she agreed, but on one condition: she would not pretend to be someone she wasn't. No fabricated backstory. No rehearsed lines. She would simply be herself. Adrian, intrigued and slightly unsettled by her boldness, agreed. The night of the engagement party arrived in a blaze of glittering chandeliers and flashing cameras. Luxury cars lined the entrance of the grand ballroom where crystal glasses chimed and orchestras played soft jazz. When Adrian stepped out of his car, whispers followed as expected. But when Elena emerged beside him, the air shifted. She wore an emerald silk gown that flowed like liquid confidence, her hair elegantly pinned with delicate simplicity, no excessive diamonds, no forced glamour, just natural radiance. She didn't cling to Adrian's arm possessively, she walked beside him as an equal. And suddenly, the narrative changed. Conversations paused. Heads turned. Even Adrian's ex, Victoria, faltered mid-laugh when she saw them enter. Victoria had always prided herself on being the most captivating woman in any room. Tonight, for the first time, she wasn't. Elena didn't try to compete. She simply existed, graceful, intelligent, magnetic. When introduced to executives, she spoke thoughtfully about music, discipline, and passion with such authenticity that seasoned businessmen leaned in to listen. She wasn't dazzled by wealth, she was unimpressed by arrogance. And that intrigued them even more. Adrian watched in disbelief as investors he'd been trying to impress for months seemed more interested in meeting his companion than discussing quarterly projections. But the real moment came when the live band's pianist fell suddenly ill, and the host nervously asked if anyone could fill in. Before Adrian could process what was happening, Elena stepped forward. Within minutes, her fingers danced across the keys, and the room fell silent. The melody she played was haunting yet triumphant, building slowly until it filled every corner of the ballroom with emotion so raw it felt personal. Even Victoria's fiancé looked captivated. And Victoria? She looked shaken. Because it wasn't about beauty anymore. It was about presence. When the final note faded, the applause was thunderous. Cameras flashed, not at the engaged couple, but at Elena. Headlines were already forming in real time. CEO's mystery date steals the show. But as Adrian looked at her standing under the chandelier lights, he realized something far more unsettling than public perception: this wasn't strategy anymore. Somewhere between the rehearsed smiles and unexpected performance, the fake arrangement had shifted. He wasn't pretending when he felt proud standing beside her. He wasn't calculating when he brushed a loose strand of hair from her face. And when Victoria approached them with forced politeness, it wasn't jealousy Adrian felt, it was clarity. He hadn't lost anything that night. He had outgrown it. As the party continued buzzing around them, Elena leaned closer and whispered, "You didn't need me to steal the spotlight. You just needed to stop looking back." Adrian smiled for the first time that evening, genuinely. The engagement party meant to humiliate him had instead revealed something unexpected: the power of authenticity over image, substance over spectacle, and the quiet strength of someone who doesn't chase attention yet commands it effortlessly. And if you love this story of confidence, transformation, and unexpected romance, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because the next story might just remind you that sometimes, the best chapters of your life begin when you stop trying to prove something and start choosing something better.